Alright, this is Hello Kitty. No joke, we're playing Hello Kitty for the Famicom. All jokes aside, this is actually a really good game. This is a Nintendo staple through and through. It's developed by... Well, okay, so this is basically just a reskin of Balloon Kid on the Game Boy, which in itself was sort of a spiritual successor to Balloon Fight. That game was developed by Balloon Kid, was developed by Nintendo R&D1, and so a lot of people in Nintendo of Japan worked on that game. So the same guy that worked on Metroid worked on this game. So don't let the Hello Kitty skin put you off. Yes, this is a simple game to get into. I mean, it's a Famicom game. There's two buttons. A D-pad and two buttons. But the game takes some mastering. As I mentioned with Balloon Kid, you're constantly fighting momentum, and it's all about how fast you want to raise your elevation or change your speed, but doing so will cause you to raise elevation, and then it takes time to lower your elevation. You're constantly fighting momentum. So, yeah. It's a game that takes a little bit of getting used to on the controls. As you can see, I've got these two balloons that are allowing me to float. And if I take a hit, I will lose a balloon. If I take a hit on the balloons, like that, then one of the balloons will pop. So having an extra balloon is always good, but also you don't raise up in the air as fast when you only have one balloon, which means you've got to flap. You kind of flap your arms, I guess, to raise up, but you got to flap them even faster when you've only got one balloon. So it does affect the controls a little bit when you've only got one balloon. And of course, if you only have one balloon and that one pops and you're above water or spikes, then that's going to cause you to fall and die, and that's what kills you in this game. Typically is going to be falling into water. Most of the time you're over water. Every level has at least one of these little bonus stages where you can get an extra life. And I think once you get so many points, that will come up, or an extra life will come up. This is basically an invincibility, so the enemies won't kill me right now. I can still die from falling. Pressing down is how you build up your balloon. You've got to press down 4 times to pump up a balloon. Now, so far, I've only been pressing, one button on the controller. The other button will drop your balloons, and sometimes you need to drop your balloons to get into small spaces. There, it was optional to get the one up. But later in the game, it will become necessary to drop the balloons, and then hopefully you've got time where you're on a platform to fill up, ideally, both balloons again. But sometimes when you're on water, there's just very small platforms, and you don't always have time to pump up the balloons. Again, very fun game. I love Balloon Kid on the Game Boy, and this is basically Balloon Kid on the Game Boy with the benefits you get of being on an NES instead. What do do I mean by that? Well, not just that it's in color instead of black and white, or four shades of greenish gray. It's the bigger playfield. The higher resolution gives us a bigger playfield. So in Balloon Kid, you're much more cropped in. You see much less of the level at once. And here we're kind of zoomed out. Our character sprites are a little smaller on the screen, and we can see a lot more of the playfield on the screen at a time. So that's the main benefit of playing Balloon Kid on the Famicom or the NES. And again, that's all this is. This is just a reskin of Balloon Kid. It's the same levels, it's the same music. It really has nothing to do with Hello Kitty. I am playing this with a real Super Famicom controller, using my little SNES to USB dongle. I picked up 2 of those many years ago, and they have really come in handy. I mean, there's almost no better way to play retro 2D games than with an SNES controller. And to be able to use a real SNES controller is pretty awesome. And I think I paid like $10 each. I got 2 of them. But it's just a little tiny dongle. It has a Super Nintendo, like, female controller port on the end of it, and then that goes to a USB port. And it's pretty much flawless. Like in RetroArch here, it's plug and play. I plug it in, it pops up as a Super Nintendo controller, load up a game, and away you go. So it's cheap, it works super effectively, and it lets you use real Super Nintendo or Super Famicom controllers on your PC. So highly recommend. I think the ones I got are like Tomee, like Tomee brand. Yeah, again, they were in a local game shop. I don't know if they were used. They weren't in any packaging. They were just bare, hanging on the wall. And again, I think they were $10 a pop. And absolutely worth it. Now here's a spot where we drop the balloons to get in here, just to get to a bonus level. And again, with the bonus level, we'll try to get another one up. This game, just like Balloon Kid, again, it's just Balloon Kid with basically sprite hacks. Yeah, it starts off fairly easy, but the later levels do become a little bit of a challenge, to be honest. So again, Balloon Kid or Hello Kitty, you know, they're both kind of cutesy games, and they start off kind of easy. You know, it might take a little bit of getting used to mastering these controls, but the levels do start off fairly easily, but they do get a little bit challenging. So probably not a bad idea to get some extra lives in these bonus stages while you can. Even the bonus stages, if I recall, they do get pretty difficult, where eventually the balloons are raising up so fast that it's really hard to get them. I think it's every other level has a boss fight. Definitely not every level, but again, I think it's every other level has a boss fight. And typically you just gotta drop down on this guy. Fuck. Okay, well that was, that's not how you do that. Let's try that again. Oh, wow. For a second there, I just forgot what I was playing, and I thought I was just gonna jump over that, that fire guy. Yeah, I'll be okay. Just wasted 2 lives. Good thing I got 2 extra lives in the bonus stages already. Alright. As I was saying, you want to kind of hover over this guy. Drop down on him. Ideally, while you have some momentum still, because that momentum will push you off to one of the platforms. If you just stop and hover over them and then drop, you will just fall straight back up. In some cases, you may grab your balloons again, but not always, as we just saw. So I like to get some momentum, drop down on him. Now, I didn't expect it to bounce. Yeah, he's dead. The bosses only take 3 hits, I think, except for some of the later bosses. Do get a little bit harder and do require more hits. I'm going to take a drink from my coffee here. A little bit of coffee left, and it's just getting cold. So yeah, when it comes to playing games on my PC, when it comes to controllers, yeah, this level's already moving a bit faster, isn't it? When it comes to controllers, like I have my Xbox Series controller. I have the one that is the Forza edition. It looks really dope. I also have an Xbox One controller that is the Cyberpunk edition. I don't really use that one anymore. I kind of put it back in the box. It's honestly more of a collector's item than anything, but I don't even really care about it as a collector's item. I'm not like, oh my god, I gotta have this controller in the box to keep it. It's just a controller that I bought at the time and I used at the time, but once I got the Series controller is a little bit better. It has a little bit more grip on the back, a little bit more of like a rubberized texture on the back. It just feels less plasticky. A little grippier texture. The triggers also have a little bit of a slight rubbery texture on them. They're just smooth plastic on the Xbox One controller that I have. So yeah, I just put it back in the box because there's no reason to use it. I'm just gonna use the Series controller. These platforms here, if you land on them, they will fall. So if you land on that and you don't have any balloons, you're fucked. And speaking of being... Jesus, there we go. Alright. Yeah, as you can see, as these levels start to move a little bit faster, you can imagine if... In a pinch, if you just landed on a small platform, you might not have enough time to fill up both balloons. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you'll be lucky to just have enough time to fill up one balloon. Again, especially as these levels do get a little bit trickier. And again, not every level has a boss fight at the end. That was actually a relatively short level. It went by a lot quicker anyways. I guess just because the speed was higher. Maybe the length was the same, but... So as I was saying, yeah, I have the Xbox Series controller, the Forza edition, and I'll use that for mostly racing games or 3D, third-person action games. You know, playing The Last of Us, that's what I use. I also have the two 8-bit Do. I have the two 8-bit Do SN30 Pros. They look like Super Nintendo controllers with 2 analog sticks on them. They're Bluetooth. And I use those a lot on my PCs, my main gaming PC and on my home theater PC, for emulation and different things, and I have 2 of those, so if me and my wife are going to play, like, a 2-player Mario Kart, session, and we've got 2 of those. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm mostly going to use, for modern games, the Xbox Series controller. And then sometimes I'll use the SN30 Pro. And then, now that I kind of fucked myself, because you can only get that if you get it from the left coming this way, and then this goes up. So I missed that one up, but we've got a bonus game here, so hopefully I can get another one up here. But again, these do get harder as these levels, these bonus stages get... You can see the balloons, I think they're already raising faster than when we started, and if they hit the top of the screen, it's over. And going back and forth with your momentum. You can't turn around very fast. It's actually faster to bounce off the walls than it is to try and just turn around. Maybe if you're like a third of the way over, just keep going and hit the wall. But as you can see, we're already starting to cut it close on this, so imagine if these get any faster, they're going to get very difficult. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, yeah, so controllers, so yeah, that's basically it. And then these two SNES to USB adapters that I have. And again, they work great. So if you've already got SNES controllers, oh, fuck. I got excited because there was another bonus level already. And I wasn't even paying attention to the fire there. But yeah, these USB to SNES adapters, they work so good. It's one of the best ways to play retro games, is just to use a Super Nintendo controller. And if you've already got Super Nintendo controllers lying around, you know, for $10 you could pick up one of those dongles in your set. So definitely recommend those. Shit. Oh, fuck. It's over. So there you go. Those are already getting pretty hard. Try and pump up my other balloon. Well, I'm invincible. Your invincibility lasts for a good second after the music ends, which is kind of nice. It's not like the second the music ends, your invincibility ends. Got boss music, so another boss is definitely coming up. Gonna pump up this second balloon. And again, pretty much same thing. It's great if you can re-grab your balloons again, but that won't always happen. Sometimes there's spikes on the top of the levels of some of the boss fights, and your balloons will pop. Fuck. That was obviously a bad idea. But actually now, I like just having the water at the bottom of this boss fight, as opposed to a platform or the ground, makes this one a lot harder. Because, yeah, you have to have your momentum to either hit the other side, which I thought I was going to do there and didn't, or you got to try and grab your balloons again. I guess just trying to grab your balloons again is going to be... Fuck. Jesus Christ. This is not going so well here. Okay. So little momentum, and just try to grab your balloons again. Like that is going to be the best. Or if he's close to the edge, I guess you can wing it there. Now we only need 3 hits. But even on our last hit, we can't, you know, fall into the water. All right. I don't remember how many stages there are in I'm pretty sure in the I'm pretty sure in Balloon Kid on the Game Boy, in the top left, it says Stage 3, Stage 4, and here it shows, like, stage, and then, like, a picture. that was stage whale, I guess. But it was really like stage 5 or something, right? I think there's like 8 stages, 7 or 8. And stage umbrella. So yeah, here we've got the rain, and the rain will force you down harder. So you want to try to either have some elevation or go through it really quickly at a high speed. If you're going too slowly, that's more time that the rain's going to have to push you down. So yeah, I want to say almost every level adds something new, which is great. And again, it's really about the momentum in this game. It's really fun to master that. These controls. Because you can't just spam your flapping, because your elevation will always go up. And if you need your elevation to go down, you have very little control as you're just dropping downwards. You know, you're not going to be able to change direction. And you can't gain elevation once that rain is on you. So there you go. Now here we've also got the lightning. And the lightning will kill you, but also the little spark that comes off the lightning. And as you can see, that will start to bounce around. But here we need to have... Fuck. That's difficult to get through. So we're going to go over that next time. Clearly going over that is the way. Is that just 500 points of score? Like, that is not worth trying to get. They really should have put a 1 up there. Or an invincibility thing. Something to really make you want to try and get it. But like 500 points? That's not worth trying to get. Ooh, look at that. Invincibility and a 1 up. If you get too low to the water on this level, a fish will come out of the water and try and kill you. I'm not sure if the other levels had that or not. They probably did. And again, you need to have enough speed going through these. Nice, nice, nice. This game is so well designed from a gameplay point of view. You know, very simple, a couple of buttons, but always fighting the momentum. Every level, you know, is an auto-scroller. And just get to the end. And just very well designed. Shit. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, I mean, these things you want to go through fast, but you don't want to go too fast because you're just going to end up on the far left side of the screen. Okay, level's over already, okay. Well, at least it wasn't too long. I keep skipping these little animations in between every level because I think his friends come out or something. Or her. Is Hello Kitty a her, I guess? With a little bow tie in her hair, so... Oh, okay, that's all it does, alright. Hello Kitty is kind of a fascinating, I was gonna say character, I guess, or design, or, marketing ploy, I guess? Something that if you're into marketing, you would probably want to study. Because Hello Kitty... Was it late 70s when Hello Kitty came out? And, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, it wasn't based on a cartoon or anything. It just, this character that came out of nowhere. And, went viral, I guess. Now, this part is awesome. You've got to wait for this level to scroll enough, because you've just got to run and jump the whole way across. You can't pump your balloons up because you're stuck in this little... And same with these, you can run across. Oh, man, then they put an enemy right there. But yeah, you can't get through with your balloons, so you've got to drop your balloons and just run for it. And we're on ice too, so it's a little slippery. And now that we know this guy's gonna come, there we go. Oh, and he fucking turns around as soon as you jump over him. What a bunch of bastards. Jesus. It's like, how long do you want to wait? Oh, and he turns around right away. Jeez, we're losing lives fast here. There's a lot of trial and error in this level. Like not knowing to wait for that to scroll far enough to jump across the first time. For most people playing this the first time, that's an instant, like, guaranteed death. And, see, wow. Can't pump up the balloons. Can't get the balloons through here. But we can run across. Oh. And we could pump up the balloons. We could try to get to that bonus level, but I don't know. That's not easy to get to. Great level design in some of these. I'm playing this in RetroArch with the consumer CRT shader. And there you can see the 1-up down there. If we would have waited, and we could have went across on that little iceberg or whatever. But again, first time through, you're not going to know that's there. Yeah, so I'm playing this with the scan lines on in RetroArch. Again, it's the consumer CRT shader, which I like to use every once in a while. Now, one issue with using shaders... Jesus, fuck. I don't have time. Oh. I was gonna say, one issue with using scan lines and shaders and stuff when you're recording a game and then other people are gonna watch it on YouTube is that this looks good to me and the scan lines look good and equally spaced at 1440p, which is the native resolution of my monitor. So I'm playing this at 1440p. And on YouTube, if you're watching this on your phone and it's at 1080p, the scan lines might not scale evenly and be equally spaced out. And if you're watching it in a window, and you could be watching it if you're holding your phone vertically and you're in a 480p window, the scan lines might start to sort of touch each other and interfere with each other, and you get sometimes weird, almost like moire, interference and stuff. So it can cause a lot of interference patterns. So sometimes you got to keep that in mind. Ideally, if you're watching this at 1440p full screen, that's going to be best. Huh. Oh, I can only hit him when he doesn't have the helmet on his head. Or bucket on his head. But the bucket's gonna come back. Ah, but not if I hit him. Well, it's coming back. Alright. Good to come up here and charge your balloons, but try not to get hit. And you know what? Just wait for him to throw it again. Ah, boom! Haha. Yeah, this boss fight's pretty easy if you just take your time. Don't go down there and mingle with them. And try and hit him before the bucket hits you. Boom. 3 hits. Done. Alright. Again, I think there's only 7 levels in this game. And I think that was the 6th level. But I could be wrong. No, this is definitely not... I don't think this is the last level. So maybe there's 8 levels in this game. Again, we're on stage mouse. That's all I can really tell you for sure. Whereas I'm pretty sure the Game Boy version just showed the number there. And we are game over. Okay, I'm assuming that's end and that's continue. Nope, fuck that up. Well, that's it, guys. You know, maybe I should have continued. Maybe I should have assumed the longer word was continue. Of course, it doesn't necessarily translate like that, I understand. They default you on to continue. I guess that does make more sense. Well, I fucked that up. But there you go. That is Hello Kitty on Famicom. I say Famicom like a fancy motherfucker. When, for many, many years, I just said Famicom like everybody else. Famicom, whatever. NES. Heck, you can play this on your NES if you've got a flash cart. Of course, Famicom and NES, same thing. So yeah, this is basically Hello Kitty for the NES. And if you've got an NES or a flash cart or just want to play this in an emulator, definitely check it out. It's a good game. And this is a legit... Again, this is just a reskin of Balloon Kid, which is a Nintendo-developed game, in-house, Nintendo of Japan, Nintendo R&D1, and I always loved Balloon Kid. I only learned about Balloon Kid a few years ago, and I learned about this at the same time. And yeah, I like both. The Game Boy version is great, a little bit more cropped in. The sprites look a little bit bigger, relatively speaking, on the screen, but obviously you see less of the playfield. But yeah, they're the same levels, the same music. It's just basically reskin of the sprites is all it is. So yeah, there you go. Hello Kitty. It's an awesome game. Check it out.